Ralph Waldo Emerson Jones Sr., known as Prez Jones, was an American educator and administrator. He served as the second president of Grambling State University from 1936 until 1977. He also coached the Grambling State baseball team and was inducted into the National College Baseball Hall of Fame. Jones was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana on August 6, 1905. His grandfather was a slave, and his father, John S. Jones, was the first dean of Southern University. His mother owned all of the works of Ralph Waldo Emerson and named her son after the author. Jones earned his bachelor's degree from Southern University in 1925. He also earned a master's degree from Columbia University in mathematics. Charles P. Adams, the president of Grambling State University, interviewed all 5 members of the Southern University's 1925 graduating class and decided to hire one of Jones's classmates. However, he mixed up their names and hired Jones. Though Adams recognized his mistake after his arrival, Jones stayed and was assigned to teach chemistry, math, and biology. He formed the Grambling State Tigers baseball team and served as its head coach. He also formed the Grambling State Tigers football team and served as its first coach. Jones also assumed the duties of the registrar and dean of men. Jones was up for the duty when asked in 1926 by then president of Grambling State, Charles P. Adams, asked to form a group of marching musicians and formed the GSU Tiger Marching Band, and began the tough task by obtaining 17 instruments from Sears and Roebuck, and the Marching Tigers were ready to take their first giant step. Jones also wrote Grambling State's alma mater. At that time, there was no music department at Grambling, so sharps, flats, lines, spaces, notes, and rests were all mysteries to members of that initial group. But the inexperienced Tigers persisted, and soon they were performing their first melody-strained concert. Later, the action switched from chairs to grassy fields as the tiny group began marching at football games. Since several band members were usually on the grid squad, interesting situations frequently developed. It was a common sight to see R.W.E. Jones substitute for a band member who had suffered a football injury. Tiger tunes became more sophisticated during the 1930s, and Grambling musicians began to perform at concerts and dances in neighboring towns. After becoming president in 1936, he still directed the band and coached the baseball team. For the musical group to continue its development, Prez decided a full-time director was needed, so Sarge A.D. King, a former college band leader, was hired. After years of playing before small crowds in the country, the Grambling Band got its first big break in 1964 when it performed at halftime during the American Football League's championship game in San Diego, California. Since transportation was not provided, President Jones paid for chartered buses out of his own pocket. The investment quickly paid off on an almost unbelievable scale as invitations began pouring in from across the country. Jones became president of Grambling State, then known as the Louisiana Negro Normal and Industrial Institute, in 1936. He gave up all his duties at Grambling, except he remained the coach of the baseball team. Grambling State achieved university status in 1974. Jones retired as president in 1977. While he was president, the school's faculty increased from 17 to 500, and the student body increased from 120 to 4,000. Jones was married and had 2 sons, Ralph Jr. and John Arthur. His wife, Mildred Shea Jones, died in 1953. Jones died at Lincoln General Hospital in Ruston, Louisiana on April 9, 1982. due to complications from gallstone surgery. Over 2,000 attended his memorial service at Grambling State University. Jones received honorary degrees and Doctor of Laws from Louisiana Tech University in 1970 and Doctor of Humane Letters from the University of Baltimore in 1977. He was inducted into the SWAC Hall of Fame in 1992 and the National College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011. Grambling State inducted Jones into its Hall of Fame in the inaugural class in 2009.